41 NBC. It's time for Friday Night Football action. You're in the end zone, insured by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive more, spend less. Call or click today for a free quote. Also brought to you by 5 Star Automotive.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the End Zone, brought to you by Safe Auto. I'm Bill Shanks from Fox Sports 1670 AM in Macon. Later on, we'll have games from Gray, Warner Robins, and Forsyth, including our Safe Auto Game of the Week as the Bulldogs from Mary Persons host the Perry Panthers. Don't forget to keep an eye on that scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. We start in Macon as Westside hosted Veterans. The Seminoles were looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Northside last week. Tonight, they opened up region play in Region 2 Quad A against the Veterans Warhawks. Both teams moved up to 4A after being in AAA last season. Westside won this matchup last season 48-21. Here we go to Ed DeFore Sports Complex for, how about that sunset right there, Chris? That's a weather shot for you, big boy. Westside takes the field, and Veterans would get it first and try to knock on the door early on in the red zone. Andrew Holliday drops back, goes to the end zone, but is picked off by Thomas O'Malley for Westside, and the Seminoles would get the ball. Here we go, our five-star drive of the week. The Seminoles go to work on their own 20. Noah Grayer hands off to Cedric Hollingshed. He takes it up the middle toward midfield, picks up 36 for the first down to the Veterans 44. Then Grayer again, hands off to Hollingshed up the middle, first 7 yards. Now on the Veterans 36, Grayer. Draw play, Hollingshed scampers up the middle for about a 14-yard gain to the 22, another first down. Then Grayer shotgun, rolls to his right, in the air, Jakari Man, touchdown, 6 points, nice play for the Noles, and after the PAT, it was 7-0. So the Warhawks trying to get it going offensively on their own 30. Holliday, the quarterback, scrambles and then rolls to his right and heaves it, but it's going to be picked off by Clemens Tyler of Westside, and the Seminoles are going to get it back. He goes to the 25, all the way down to right around midfield to give Westside some good field position right around the 44-yard line. Then it didn't take the Noles long. Grayer back, shotgun in the air. Watch this catch. Shannon Smith up. He's got it for the touchdown, 42 yards, and they missed the PAT, but it was 13-0. Westside out in front early in this game. Veterans would try again. They get it near midfield and they start to drive a little bit. Logan Boyd, the quarterback, gets it to Malik Broughton for the first down to the Westside 40. Here it comes now, our forward hit of the week, Bird. Back, passing, and boom! Oh, what a hit. But Chris Watts holds on to it even though Clement Tyler rocks some ribs, but it's a first down on the 1-yard line. They changed sides at the end of the first quarter, and it took only one play for Bird to take it in himself. Touchdown Warhawks. They get the PAT, and it's 13-7. Westside still on top. Later in the second, Veterans back on their own 1 yard. For some reason, 4th and long, they go for it, and that was a mistake. Bird's going to be picked off by DeQuavius Walker, and he's going to score. Touchdown Westside. They got a 2-point conversion, and the Seminoles were up 21-7 and rolling in this ball game. Then as I was leaving, I was slumming and shot from the field. Westside got it back and scored again. Tajay Morant. Touchdown, all Westside, 56-31. Seminoles now 3-1. They're at West Lawrence next week. The Veterans now 1-3. Now to Gray, Jones County hosted Putnam, and here we go as the Greyhounds take the field here. First quarter, we've got some action as Jones County has the ball on the 9-yard line. Andre Williams gets the ball, and right side Waller tries to take him down, but it's a touchdown there, and it's 7-0. Greyhounds out on top, as the home fans are happy. Putnam now with the ball. Tyrone Davis hands off to Reeves, number 32. He heads for about 65 yards, but A.J. Williams is going to take him down on the 4-yard line right there, but Putnam is knocking on the door. Then Reeves gets the ball again, and he's going to score up the middle for 6 points. Or indeed goes to the left side, and he scores. The PAT was no good, and it was 7-6, Jones County up. Now Jones County on the 13-yard line. Knight, Devon, end zone, touchdown. The pass is good, and Jones gets their second touchdown to make it 14-6 after the PAT. Then again on the 4-yard line, Knight hands off to Yuhan, who runs it up the middle for another touchdown, 21-6. Oh my gosh, I picked Putnam. Jones County on the 44, Williams gets the ball, runs in the middle, and he's going to take off. Chris Williams would get to him, but it's too late, and another score for Jones. It's 27-6. They are rolling. Then again, Jones with the ball. Williams gets it, runs up the middle, and watch him barrel over some guys and get all the way down to 2, and then they would score again. This was all Jones County. How about this? 50-20 Greyhounds. They win it. They host Greenbrier next week to start region play, while the War Eagles are now 2-2. All right, up next, can Tatnall avoid an 0-5 start to the season? We'll have that and more as we continue here on the End Zone, brought to you by Safe Auto.
Welcome back to the End Zone, insured by 1-800-SAFE Auto. The Drive of the Week is brought to you by 5-Star Automotive.
And we're back on the End Zone. I'm Bill Shanks. Thanks for sticking with us. The Tatnall Trojans off to their worst start in 31 years. You've got to go back to 1981 when Ronald Reagan was in his first year as president to find a season that started off this bad for the Trojans. They began that year 0-8, and the next season, Barney Hester took over as the head coach. Tonight, to stop the losing streak, Tatnall had to welcome Deerfield Windsor to Jack Baines Field. The Knights beat Stratford last week and won over Mount DeSales 2 weeks ago. This is going to be another tough test for Tatnall. Here we go, back out to North Macon for some of the highlights of this game. Great weather out there and a good crowd on hand tonight at Tatnall. First quarter now, the quarterback Lane Watson hands off to Clay Humphreys for about a 3-yard gain as Tatnall tried to get the running game going early, and they did right here as Watson calls his own number. Watch this nice little 60-yard touchdown run. He's going to go for a while and score. And Tatnall's on the board. They get the PAT, and it's 7-0 Trojans early on. Now Deerfield will get the ball, and it's really not too good early on for Deerfield Windsor as they are really 3 and out. They have a nice run there, but then up the middle, and the Tatnall defense playing pretty good. So they would get the ball back, and Lane Watson would try to go to work. He gets it again to Clay Humphreys. And a nice run here, left side, but he's going to get hit and fumble the football, and that's not good right there. Tatnall coaches trying to get it going. Barney talking to his boys. Then the Knights quarterback, O'Neill, passes it to Tucker Moody down to the 1-yard line, and Wayne O'Neill's going to take it in after that for a touchdown. The PAT right here would be good, and it's tied at 7 in this game. Now Tatnall would get the ball, and they would be trying to get some yards and some points, and they do right there. Lane Watson gets it 3 yards, touchdown, PAT no good, 13-7 Tatnall. Then Deerfield Windsor. O'Neill hands off to Bard, who goes around for number 25, and how about an end around for a 25-yard touchdown? The PAT would be no good, and at the half it was 13-13. And look at this final score. This is awful. Tatnall loses by 1 point. Are you kidding me? 20-19. The Trojans are now 0-5. What a tough loss for Tatnall tonight at home. To Milledgeville, John Millage hosted Mount DeSales. Here come the Trojans of John Millage. They've had a great year so far for JT Wall. Mount DeSales in the 40, handoff to Alex Sands up the middle for about a nice 18-yard gain. Now the quarterback, Ryan McCauley, the intern boy, too. Back to pass he goes. Now he's going to run around the left side, get about 5 yards there. Nice run by Ryan. Next play now, McCauley again over the middle. And Will Jones is going to get it for a nice gain down to the 10-yard line. Next play, though, John Millage will sack McCauley. Hunter Hardy with a nice play by GMA. And then on the next play again, another blitz, and John Millage stops them, and the Cavs come up short. Trojans get the ball now. A couple of plays later, and the quarterback gets it to Seeley, and he's for a 55-yard gain right here. How about a nice run down to the 20 or so? Next play, Cooper Morgan's going to get it, and he's going to go in there for a 4-yard touchdown, and John Millage is up 7-0. Second quarter now, Mount DeSales trying to get going, and they are going to sneak it in there. Ryan McCauley with a touchdown for 6. They get the PAT, and it was 7-7. Later now, in the second quarter, after the PAT made it 7-7 right there, and it's 7-7 in the second quarter. But later on, Mount DeSales on the 5. The pass, Carson Leatherwood catches it, touchdown. PAT was good, and it was 14-7, but John Millage came back and won it. 48-28 the final. They are now 5-0 while the Cavs fall to 1-4. Let's head to Warner Robins as the Demons hosted Douglas County at McConnell Talbot Stadium tonight. Always a big crowd there for that game. Here's the first play of the game. Douglas County is going to be picked off. Rod Harris to the Demons. Nice INT for Rod. He brings it back to the 28. Then 37 for Warner Robins, and DeAnthony Mack is gone. 35-yard touchdown. The Demons are on the board at 7-0 after the PAT. Now here's some defense by the home team. Douglas County is stopped right there for a loss of 4. Then Douglas County again on 25, the option. Nowhere to go, a loss, and they have to punt the ball away as Warner Robins playing tough football right there. Now Warner Robins gets it on the Douglas County 40. Handoff again to DeAnthony Mack, who's going to run it down for about a 25-yard gain down to the 15. And then Warner Robins was hurt by penalties, had to settle for 3 points and get the field goal, made it 10-0. Then the Tigers the ball again. This tip is This is going to be tipped and gotten again by Harris for another INT. Great defense. And then Caden Johnson for Warner Robins. The pass to Mack. Open. Wide open. I could have caught that ball. It's 17-0. The kids were happy. Tigers go 4 and out. The Demons get it back. Greg Thomas scores with a 2-yard run. PAT made it 24-0. And watch this. One more score. Douglas County again on their own 20. Pass picked off by Collins, and he's taking it to the house. Another touchdown. This was all Warner Robins. They're up 31-0. They win it 52-14. A big win for the Demons. The Bulldogs and the Panthers, our Safe Auto Game of the Week, will be on your screen in 2 minutes.
You're watching the End Zone on 41 NBC.
Welcome back to the End Zone, insured by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Hit of the Week is brought to you by Ford.
It's the first region game for both Mary Persons and Perry tonight. Both teams in Region 2 in AAA last season. They moved up to Quad A this year, again in Region 2. Both teams won last week 35-0. Both teams were 2-1 coming into the game. Remember, the matchup last season, Mary Persons won this one 44-38 in 3 overtimes. All of that is why we selected this as our Safe Auto Game of the Week. Let's head back up to I-75. Hey, there's T-Bone! And his Bulldogs are ready to rock and roll tonight in front of a good crowd at Dan Pittsfield. Here we go. As both teams traded punts to start the game, then Perry went to work. Deontay Solomon finds Alford for 18 yards and a Panthers first down. Same drive. 3 plays later, Solomon rolls to his right. Then it's going to go back to his left. Hold on, go back the other way. Nick Martins is going to get it in the end zone for a nice touchdown, 34 yards. After the PAT, it was 7-0. Perry out on top. Second quarter now, Perry with the ball facing a 3rd and 26. Solomon drops back. Here comes the defense for Mary Persons. Trey Davis brings him down for a sack, and they will force the punt. And the Bulldogs trying to get something going on offense. Here he is again. Nick Davis goes up and gets this pass from Jordan Banks for a 16-yard completion and a first down. They managed to get it to the 30, but Davis would come up short here on a 4th down play. Watch this. They cannot get it, and they would have to turn it over on downs. Perry would then turn around and punt it back as we go to the second quarter of play to Mary Persons, and that's not going to work. Then third quarter, here comes Mary Persons back. Banks fires it to Zellner, and that's a 28-yard completion. But then they would throw an interception right there, and there's a punt. But here's the play of the game, really. Kebron Rawls lets the punt bounce and takes off. How about a 62-yard touchdown? And this is going to tie the game at 7. It was tied at 7 when we left, and Mary Persons came back and won. How about that? The coaches are fired up, and they have reason to. Bulldogs win it 14-7. And what a game there for Mary Persons. Big win. They improved to 3-1. The Perry Panthers now fall to 2-2. The scoreboard is coming up right after this. For local sports talk on the radio, join me from 3 until 6 every weekday afternoon for the Bill Shanks Show on Fox Sports 1670 AM in Macon and online at foxsports1670.com. Plus, the morning show with Chucky Olson and Daniel Shirley every morning from 7 until 9. And tomorrow afternoon, it's the Saturday scoreboard with the legendary Bobby Pope. All right, let's check out the scores from around the state of Georgia. We got some middle Georgia teams all over the place. First, last night, Baldwin, no surprise here, they beat Howard by the score of 34-4. Rutland, well, they're playing tough this year, and they just did lose to West Lawrence tonight. The Raiders go to 3-1. They won 3 in a row. They host West Side next week. All right, Upson Lee all over Central tonight by the score of 42-31. The Chargers are now 0-4, and they are really struggling on, I said 42-21, I'm sorry. They scored only 7 points this year. Also, Peach County, they're not having any trouble at all scoring points. They're 4-0. They roll over Macon County 49-0. They start region play in 2 weeks at Henry County. Bleckley over Dodge. Just a little bit of a surprise here because Dodge was 3-0 coming in. The Royals are now 2-1, and they are at Putnam County next week. Also, Waco over Laney by the score of 51-28. They're now 5-0. Fitzgerald all over Charlton County. The Indians in Richmond Quarter, 37-0 the final there. Dublin now 0-4 on the season as they lose to Swainsboro by the score of 34-10. Also, Crawford County now has lost 27 in a row. They scored some points tonight, but lose by 3 to Strong Rock Christian. And Irwin County, the Indians had lost 2 in a row, but they beat Wilkinson. A little bit of a surprise there as Wilkinson was at home, 41-34 the final. Johnson County wins over Savannah Country Day by the score of 35-28. Also, FPD over Pace Academy in Atlanta tonight, 24-20. They are now 2-1, and they host Lincoln County next week. Getting ready for that one. And finally, Westfield all over Southwest Georgia tonight by the score of 38-0. They are now 4-0, and they are at Stratford next week. All right, again, our big winners for the night. We've got Westside, Jones County, Deerfield, Windsor, John Millage, Warner Robins, and Mary Persons. Good football action all over Middle Georgia tonight. That's our show. Thanks for being with us. We're back next week for more high school football highlights. For all of us at 41 NBC, I'm Bill Shanks. Good night.